Streamer Rich Campbell, one of the founding members of content network OTK, has been accused of sexual assault. The disturbing allegation was made by streamer Azalia Lexi, who says that the two had an off and on relationship before the alleged incident occurred in 2021. Now, Rich has resigned from OTK and says that he'll present his version of events soon. Meanwhile, Azalia Lexi has said that she's received disturbing messages as a result of coming forward and telling her story. So, what do we know so far? Let's take a look. Before I get into the video, I do need to warn you that this video contains descriptions of sexual assault, sexual activity, fetishes, and pregnancy, and if you aren't equipped to deal with that today, I totally understand, but now would be the time to tap out. Okay, let's get on with the video. Okay, so last Thursday and Friday, streamer Azalia Lexi accused Rich Campbell, who is part of the OTK content network, of sexual assault. Okay, so if you don't know what OTK is, it's a content network founded by a bunch of streamers who are friends. Initially, that included names like Asmongold, S-Fan, Ms. Kiff, and Rich Campbell, but nowadays, there have been many others who have joined OTK. So the allegation made by Azalia Lexi claims that she and Campbell had a relationship for about 4 years that was off and on, but by the time of the alleged incident in 2021, she had decided that she wasn't going to have a sexual relationship with Rich. Azalia Lexi's first tweet about the situation was on Thursday, and seemingly in response to a video of Campbell's current girlfriend, Mia Malkova, explaining that he has a pregnancy fetish. The video was taken from a recent episode of Pillow Talk with Ryan Pownell, where Malkova discusses Campbell, including his fetish.
He has a pregnant fetish. He really wants to get me pregnant.
Ooh, that's kind of hot though.
He has a what?
He wants to get me pregnant.
Azalia Lexi immediately followed up that first tweet with another that said she's sick of pretending it didn't happen. Then on Friday morning, she posted a twit longer with her full account of what happened, along with some screenshots of text conversations. She characterized her relationship with Rich as anything but healthy, saying, quote, "There were several times during the 4 years that he made it clear that he only viewed me as a sexual object, but when I would confront him about it, I would get love bombed and gaslit into thinking that he cared about me and wanted to be with me. Still, they had a friendship." Azalia Lexi said, quote, "After he lied to me about having a girlfriend for an extended amount of time in June of 2021, I didn't speak to him or see him until he called me asking to apologize around the end of July, beginning of August. I always had a deep love for Rich as a person and that he wanted to be in my life," end quote. But according to her, she had moved past the idea of a sexual relationship with Campbell, and that didn't change when she was invited to his subathon in 2021. She said she declined because she didn't want to sleep with him, she didn't trust him, and she declined another invite in December 2021 for a similar reason. But in late January 2022, Azalia Lexi said she Ubered to Campbell's building in New York, and the two met in a movie theater in the building, which is seemingly at least a semi-public space. And according to her account, he kept trying to get her to lie on him. By her account, quote, "I repeatedly said, I'm not here to sleep with you and I do not want that. At one point in the theater, he said, I think tonight is the last time I'm ever going to see you. After trying to speak to him for an hour about our relationship and the way he treated me, he just continued to deflect and said there's no reason to talk about it because it makes him feel bad. He said that we couldn't stay in that room and needed to go up to his apartment per the apartment rules. I said, I don't trust that. And he promised me that was the situation, that nothing would happen, and was respecting the boundary I set." According to Azalia Lexi, this is where things really went off the rails. She said that once they got up to the apartment, Campbell began talking about his pregnancy fetish and started masturbating in front of her. Then she said he kept begging her for sex and tried to remove her clothes multiple times. She kept saying no, and then at the end he, quote, "rolled me over and put himself inside me and finished unprotected," end quote. Campbell allegedly told her that she couldn't stay there, but the friend that she was staying with was already asleep and wasn't answering her phone, so she booked the cheapest hotel she could find, and according to her, she hasn't spoken to Campbell since. I mentioned photos, and these seem to clearly depict a conversation between Azalia Lexi and Campbell at the approximate time and date mentioned in her account. These photos also mention the theater in Campbell's building, and he also seems to acknowledge that he knows she isn't comfortable with being alone with him in his apartment. About 7 hours after Azalia posted her twit longer, OTK tweeted that Campbell had resigned from the org with immediate effect. Campbell then tweeted that he would share his side of the story once he had collected his thoughts. Asmongold, who was also one of the co-founders of OTK and a close friend of Campbell, shared a statement about the situation on his stream on Saturday.
I want to say one thing though, before I go any farther. You are not on our team. You are not helping us. You are not doing us any favors or doing anyone any favors by calling a girl that comes out and tells this kind of a story a liar. I read a lot of the comments on Twitter, etc., and I saw a lot of people that were saying that it wasn't true, that she's making everything up. Please do not do that. You are not our fan. You're not on our side. We are on their side. That's why Rich is gone.
Asmon went on to say that if fans did these things, then they shouldn't consider themselves fans of Asmon or OTK. And you can tell he was pretty distraught about everything that had happened, even choosing to end the stream early. OTK is a content network, but it was also supposed to be a group of friends. That was the idea behind how it was founded. And both Asmon and Campbell had hopes for the thing to succeed. To see it end like this is obviously disturbing for Asmon. That's why I think the statement from Asmon is so critical. If he didn't make a statement about the fact that you're not on his side for defending Campbell, then we could see all sorts of other comments directed at Azalia Lexi trying to discredit her account. And let's not forget that Asmon has come under fire in the past for his community's actions, particularly brigading. Frankly, I think Asmongold has matured a lot since that time. And this is another indication that he's taking this whole thing very seriously. For Rich, OTK was an outlet, a way to move on from Blizzard turning their backs on his casting career. It was there for him in one of his darkest moments. Now, this isn't the first controversy to rack OTK. If you recall, earlier this year, Mizkif was accused of helping to cover up a sexual assault allegation against his friend Crazy Slick. At the time, he was placed on leave from OTK so that an independent investigation could be completed. I don't have time to go into that whole story here, but if you want to learn more, you can check out our video about it from September. As of right now, Mizkif is still on leave. But unlike that situation, it looks like the Rich Campbell one is out of OTK's hands, at least for now. And it's hard to say exactly where this goes from here. There were hints in Asmon's statement that there's more information we haven't heard, but we haven't heard it, and as far as I'm aware, there's no pending case or anything. Azalia Lexi did tweet on Monday afternoon, and it sounds like she's received some disturbing messages after posting the twit longer. It's sad to hear this, and I hope she's able to find a way to move past this scary behavior. Here's hoping more people will take Asmon's advice and forego the harassment.